Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain. And we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll find Metcalf. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about it.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's good.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run on first down. Dobbins, he takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down now, Dobbins still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 14 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we have a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Anthony Miller with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Got a man open, it's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now it's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Check.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. So after the still manageable 2nd and 13. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now Jones. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Mixon will try the right side. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Throwing, Jones. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. 15 yards, 1st down Atlanta. Throwing on 1st down, Jones. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Anthony Miller, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now a run with Montgomery. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and...
He's got daylight. Touchdown, Falcons. Joe Mixon, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
He's going to air one out. He's got him in. Complete. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Denver, and it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. The Raiders still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, we were treated to a strong first half from the former Blue Devil, Daniel Jones. His guys are out in front as we send you back up to the Pacific Northwest, where we rejoin Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll find Miller. That's complete. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Jones on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Hayden Hurst, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Throwing is Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game. Around 6 sacks given up in this one.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 33 yards that time. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. It's complete to Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got it to Williams. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he gets this one to Ridley complete. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Another try for Mixon. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, down right around 3 yards down to the 42. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down. They'll run on first down. Dobbins. Now the ball comes loose. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Gold able to tack on the extra point. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Wilson, that's caught over the middle by Seals Jones. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up any...
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Tack McKinley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And it'll be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Jones now throwing to start the drive, and he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Ready? 18 Gator.
It's going to be a long
snap.
That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Joe Mixon. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Ready. 80 weapon.
I'm here all day.
Rush in. Rush deep.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Jones to throw again. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the